Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. There will also be what happens after Claire and Holden got freaky. While Claire was all over Holden, could she have regrets the next morning? What is this? The young couple will talk about what happened and what it could mean for their future. Claire might also question Holden about his chats with Sienna. The blonde is starting to wonder if something is up, and she'll find out, too. Claire just got out from Kyle, who had many secrets. At the same time, Claire can tell that Holden is keeping some truths hidden as well. The young and the restless spoilers, what happens after Claire and Holden got freaky, love, lies, and fallout rock Genoa City. Genoa City is buzzing once again, and this time the whispers are all about Claire Grace and Holden Novak. The sparks that have been dancing between them for weeks finally exploded into a moment of pure passion, but as any longtime Y&R fan knows, a steamy night in this town always comes with a heavy dose of fallout. What happens after Claire and Holden got freaky may be the turning point that changes not only their lives but the lives of everyone around them, especially Victoria Newman and Cole Howard. The truth is, passion always comes with a price, and for these two, that price could be devastating. It all started when Claire and Holden found themselves alone, emotions running high after a string of intense confrontations and confessions. Holden had become her unexpected confidant, the one person who seemed to see her beyond her dark past and twisted family history. He didn't see her as the broken daughter of Jordan or the pawn in a Newman war, he saw her as a woman craving redemption, connection, and love. And in a moment of undeniable chemistry, they crossed the line. But now that the line's been crossed, what happens next? For Claire, that one night might change everything. She spent so long trying to rebuild her life after her traumatic past, trying to earn back the trust of Victoria and Nikki. Yet the idea of Holden, this dangerous, mysterious man, has shaken her foundations. Was it love? Lust? Or just a need to escape the weight of her guilt for a few hours? That's the question that will haunt her in the days to come. Holden, on the other hand, may not be as simple as he seems. The charming, rugged newcomer has secrets of his own, and fans can't shake the feeling that he's hiding something big. Is he truly falling for Claire, or is he manipulating her for his own agenda? His sudden appearance in Genoa City, his guarded demeanor, and his fascination with the Newmans suggest please subscribe and like the video before continuing. He's more than just a stranger passing through town. After their night together, Holden's demeanor shifts. He's torn between his attraction to Claire and the guilt of knowing that his past, or possibly his motives, could hurt her. Meanwhile, Victoria Newman senses that something is off. She's been fiercely protective of her daughter since bringing her back into the family fold, and the idea of Claire falling for another mysterious man sends alarm bells ringing. The Newmans have had enough of manipulative outsiders, Ashland Locke's ghost still looms large, and Victoria's instincts tell her that Holden Novak might be cut from the same cloth. The tension builds when Victoria confronts Claire, leading to an emotional mother-daughter showdown. Claire defends Holden, insisting that he's not like the others. She argues that he understands her in a way no one else can, that he doesn't judge her for her past. But Victoria, ever the cautious Newman, isn't convinced. The confrontation ends with Claire storming out, her emotions in chaos. As Holden watches her unravel, his own conscience starts to fracture. Could he really be falling for her, despite whatever brought him to Genoa City in the first place? And if so, what happens when his truth inevitably comes out? There's another complication, Cole Howard. Claire's father is still trying to navigate his own relationship with Victoria and his long-lost daughter. When Cole learns that Claire has gotten involved with Holden, he's furious. He doesn't trust Holden's intentions and warns him to stay away from his daughter. But Holden fires back, revealing just enough of his own pain to make Cole second-guess himself. Could Holden be someone from Cole's past? Or someone connected to the Newmans in a way no one has yet realized? Meanwhile, whispers begin to spread through town. Genoa City has eyes and ears everywhere, and it doesn't take long for someone, perhaps Phyllis or Audra, to catch wind of Claire's new romance. Phyllis, always one to stir the pot, could use the information to her advantage, spinning it into a way to get under Victoria's skin. Audra, however, might see opportunity. If Holden has secrets, she'll be the first to expose them. As the days go by, Claire starts noticing strange behavior from Holden. Late-night phone calls. Evasive answers about his past. A flash of recognition when Victor Newman's name comes up. She starts to question whether the connection they shared was real, or just part of a much bigger scheme. Could Holden be working for someone else? Victor, of course, will not sit idly by once he learns of this affair. The patriarch of the Newman clan has made it his mission to protect his family at all costs, and the idea of another man infiltrating their circle under false pretenses will set off his legendary temper. Viewers can expect fireworks when Victor finally confronts Holden, especially if Holden turns out to have ties to Mitch Bacall or another shadowy figure circling the Newmans. The emotional fallout for Claire could be immense. If Holden betrays her, it might send her spiraling back into despair, undoing all the progress she's made. But please subscribe and like the video before continuing. He truly cares for her and is willing to risk everything to protect her from his own secrets, then their love story could become one of redemption instead of ruin. There's also the question of how Nikki Newman will react. Nikki's been wary of Claire from day one, even as she's tried to show forgiveness. Learning that her granddaughter has gotten involved with a man whose past is murky at best will shake her confidence. Expect a fiery confrontation where Nikki reminds Victoria that they can't afford another scandal, especially not with Victor already suspicious of everyone's motives. But Holden's presence might not be entirely negative. In some ways, he's the mirror Claire needs, someone who's also lived in the shadows and is searching for his own version of redemption. Their connection could ultimately help both characters heal, but only if the truth comes out before the lies destroy them. As Holden's secrets begin to unravel, Genoa City will find itself caught in yet another whirlwind of betrayal, passion, and power. Could Holden be tied to one of Victor's old enemies? Could he be a spy sent to infiltrate Newman Enterprises? Or could he, shockingly, be connected to Mitch Bacall's hidden agenda, drawing a web that connects multiple characters in a dangerous dance of deceit? Whatever happens, one thing is certain: what happened between Claire and Holden wasn't just a moment of passion. It was the spark that ignited a storyline that could shake the entire Newman dynasty. Viewers can expect the emotional consequences to ripple across every corner of Genoa City. Claire's struggle between her heart and her instincts will take center stage. Victoria's fierce protectiveness will clash with her daughter's growing independence. And Holden's dark past will finally come to light, revealing whether he's a hero in disguise or the next villain to target the Newmans. In the coming weeks, fans can brace for shocking revelations, dangerous alliances, and emotional showdowns. Claire and Holden's night together will become the catalyst for secrets that have been buried too long to stay hidden. The love they shared might have been real, but in Genoa City, love always comes with a cost. The question now is, will they pay it together or be torn apart before the truth is fully revealed? The Young and the Restless spoilers, Claire's morning after shock, regret, guilt, and fallout after her night with Holden. Genoa City is buzzing with whispers after that steamy, unexpected moment between Claire Grace and Holden Novak. Fans saw it coming, the tension, the longing looks, the emotional vulnerability, but no one expected it to actually happen. Now, as the sun rises over the Newman estate, Claire faces the haunting question that's been echoing in her mind since she opened her eyes: what has she done? While Claire was all over Holden in the heat of the moment, the next morning may tell a completely different story, one filled with regret, guilt, and confusion that could change everything for her moving forward. For Claire, who's been trying so hard to rebuild her life, that night of passion was both liberating and terrifying. In Holden, she found someone who please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Understood her darkness, someone who didn't flinch at the mention of her past. But in the harsh light of day, reality hits hard. She remembers her mother's warnings, her grandmother's doubts, and the promise she made to herself to stay focused on healing. Now, she's lying next to a man whose past she barely knows, wondering if she just made the biggest mistake of her life. As she quietly slips out of Holden's bed, her mind races. What if Victoria finds out? What if Holden isn't who he says he is? What if this single decision undoes months of progress she's made to prove that she's not the same vulnerable girl who once fell prey to Jordan's manipulation? Claire's emotions are swirling in a storm of desire, fear, and regret. Holden, on the other hand, senses the tension the moment she pulls away. He tries to reach her, to tell her that what happened between them meant something real, but his words don't quite land. His charm that once made her feel safe now feels dangerous, even suffocating. He can sense her walls going back up, and that scares him. The problem is, Holden has secrets, big ones, and deep down, Claire can feel it. She doesn't know the full story, but her instincts are screaming that he's hiding something. Maybe it's his connection to Mitch Bacall. Maybe it's his ties to someone in Victor Newman's world. Or maybe it's something even darker, something that could destroy both of them if it ever comes to light. As Claire retreats into herself, guilt begins to consume her. She can hear Victoria's voice in her head warning her to stay cautious, to think before trusting anyone new. The thought of facing her mother after what she's done feels unbearable. How can she explain that, for one night, she let her heart, and not her head, take control? Victoria, for her part, already senses something's off. When Claire shows up late for breakfast, flustered and quiet, Victoria's instincts go into overdrive. She's been down this road before, she knows that look of conflicted emotion. The mother in her wants to protect Claire from another heartbreak, while the Newman in her wants to know exactly who Holden Novak is and what he's after. When Victoria gently presses, Claire tries to deflect, but her shaky voice gives her away. The guilt is written all over her face, and Victoria realizes something big has happened. Fans can expect a tense mother-daughter confrontation where emotions explode. Victoria will demand the truth, and Claire, torn between honesty and shame, may break down and admit that she slept with Holden. Victoria's reaction will be explosive. She'll be furious, not because Claire's an adult woman making her own choices, but because she sees history repeating itself. Another charming, mysterious man sweeping into their lives, stirring up chaos, and leaving wreckage behind. It's too familiar, too painful. She'll warn Claire that Holden could be using her, that his interest isn't as pure as it seems. But Claire, still reeling from her own inner turmoil, won't want to hear it. She'll insist that she's not a victim this time, that she made her own decision, for better or worse. The cracks between them widen, and the please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Emotional fallout could send both women spiraling into a painful new chapter. Meanwhile, Holden is wrestling with his own demons. He may be falling for Claire, but he knows his secrets are closing in. If his true motives, or his ties to people like Mitch Bacall, come to light, Claire will never forgive him. And yet, part of him wants to come clean, to start fresh with her, even if it means risking everything. That internal conflict makes him unpredictable, and in Genoa City, unpredictability always spells danger. The next few days will be a psychological whirlwind for Claire. Regret doesn't just come from guilt, it comes from fear. Fear of losing the trust she's worked so hard to rebuild. Fear of what Holden might reveal. Fear of herself, and the choices she keeps making that seem to drag her back into emotional chaos. She'll start questioning whether her attraction to Holden came from genuine connection or from a need to feel alive after years of pain and control. Her therapist and family may encourage her to step back, but Claire's heart won't let her walk away so easily. After all, Holden made her feel seen. And despite her regret, a small part of her still yearns for him. That inner conflict will define her next arc. Does she follow her instincts and cut ties, or does she risk it all and trust him again? Holden won't make it easy. He'll show up at her door, apologize for pushing too fast, and tell her that he feels something real between them. His sincerity might tug at her heartstrings, but his evasive answers about his past will make it impossible to fully trust him. Fans should brace for an emotional roller coaster of longing, suspicion, and heartbreak as Claire tries to navigate what she's feeling. And then there's Victor. Once word reaches him, and it inevitably will, that his granddaughter was involved with a man no one knows much about, he'll see red. The mustache will launch a full-scale investigation into Holden Novak's background, ordering his people to dig into every detail of his past. When Victor goes digging, secrets don't stay buried for long. Could Holden be connected to one of Victor's old enemies? Or worse, could he be part of Mitch Bacall's hidden agenda? The truth could shake Claire to her core, especially if she finds out that Holden was playing her from the start. Regret would turn into devastation. But what if there's more to the story? What if Holden truly did fall for her, and the lines between manipulation and emotion blurred along the way? In true Y&R fashion, fans can expect this story to twist into a tale of redemption, revenge, and raw emotion. Claire's mourning after regret could transform her once again, from a victim trying to survive to a woman determined to take control of her own destiny. If Holden betrays her, she'll be the one to expose him. But if his love is genuine, she might just fight for it, despite the odds. As the days turn into weeks, the tension between them will intensify. The longing glances, the unspoken apologies, the emotional tug-of-war, it all leads to a crossroads where Claire must decide whether to follow her heart or protect her soul. What happens after Claire and Holden got freaky won't be just a fling. It's the beginning of a psychological and emotional saga that could redefine who Claire Grace becomes. Will she emerge stronger, wiser, and in control of her own story? Or will her regret consume her, dragging her back into the shadows she fought so hard to escape? One thing's for sure, in Genoa City, the morning after is never just the morning after. It's the start of the next storm, and Claire Grace is standing right in the center of it. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. The Young and the Restless spoilers are in for Monday, November 3, 2025. Fans can expect Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, and Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, to react to a familiar face. Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, and Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, discuss current affairs. Plus, Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, and Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, strategize. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Make sure to check out our weekly Y&R spoilers, here. Sharon Newman's shock. Let's start off with Sharon. Fans know she went to question Sienna Bacall, Tamara Braun, and her husband, Mitch Bacall, Roger Howarth. However, after Sharon got off the phone with Nick, she faced a man from her past. It turns out that Sienna and everyone knows Howarth's character as Mitch. As for Sharon, she recognizes him as her dead tormentor from decades ago, Matt Clark. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Sharon Newman's shock, a stunning discovery that changes everything. Genoa City is rarely calm, but nothing could prepare fans for the bombshell about to rock Sharon Newman's world. As the week begins, Sharon finds herself at the center of an unfolding mystery that could rewrite not only her future but the entire Newman family legacy. Monday, November 3, 2025, will be a day fans won't forget as Sharon is blindsided by revelations that strike at the heart of her life, her family, and her carefully rebuilt sense of peace. It all starts innocently enough, a quiet morning at Crimson Lights. Sharon, savoring a moment of calm, receives an unexpected visitor who changes the course of her day. She assumes it's a customer or perhaps Faith dropping by before classes. But when she turns around, the expression on her face says it all: shock, disbelief, and a trace of fear. The person standing there isn't someone she ever expected to see again. This mysterious arrival brings more than just nostalgia, they bring secrets that have been buried for far too long. Genoa City's Queen of Resilience is about to face another test of her strength. Sharon has weathered heartbreak, loss, and betrayal countless times, but this revelation shakes her to her core. Rumors suggest it ties directly to her past, perhaps someone she believed was long gone has returned, or a truth she buried years ago is clawing its way to the surface. What if it connects to her history with Cassie or Mariah? Or perhaps something even darker, something involving Cameron Kirsten's shadowy past that Sharon thought she had finally escaped? One whispered clue from an insider teases that this revelation involves a family truth Sharon was never meant to know. Could this mean that her connection to the Newman family runs deeper than anyone imagined? Victor Newman's influence is vast, and secrets have long surrounded his empire. What if Sharon discovers she's been manipulated in ways she never realized? Meanwhile, Nick Newman can sense that something is off. His instincts pull him back toward Sharon just as she begins unraveling the mystery. He's always been her protector, and though they've gone their separate ways romantically, the bond between them remains unbreakable. As Sharon spirals from shock into determination, Nick becomes her anchor. But could this secret pull them closer again, or destroy what's left of their trust? Phyllis Summers, ever the opportunist, might sense an opening. Phyllis has her own tangled history with both Sharon and Nick, and if this revelation threatens Newman Enterprises or the coffeehouse owner's reputation, you can bet Phyllis will be there to pounce. Some fans speculate that Phyllis may even have played a role in Sharon's shocking discovery. Could she have dug up something from Sharon's past, intending to use it as leverage, only for it to backfire spectacularly? Then there's Mariah and Tessa, who will be blindsided by what's coming. As Sharon's daughters rally around her, they'll begin questioning everything they thought they knew about their family. For Mariah, who's already endured the trauma of finding out she was Cassie's twin, the idea that another secret has been kept from her could send her spiraling. Tessa will likely play the voice of calm, but she, too, will feel the tremors of what's unfolding. As for Faith, she's away at college, but this news could bring her back to Genoa City sooner than expected, especially if her mother needs her. Faith has grown up seeing Sharon as the strong one, the healer, the heart of their family. Seeing Sharon shaken might be too much to bear. Yet, as Sharon begins to process her shock, a steely resolve takes over. She's been through too much to let anyone manipulate her again. Instead of hiding from the truth, she confronts it head-on, determined to uncover every piece of the puzzle. Her past traumas have given her the tools to stand tall, even in the face of devastation. But the question is, can she handle what she's about to find out? There are whispers that this twist ties into Mitch Bacall's arrival and the web of secrets he's spinning around the Newman family. What if Mitch's sudden interest in certain Genoa City residents isn't random? Could Sharon somehow be connected to him in ways she doesn't yet realize? Perhaps through family history or a dark secret from years ago that Victor wanted buried forever? Imagine the chaos if Sharon discovered she's tied to Mitch, or that Mitch knows something about her late daughter Cassie's adoption that was never revealed. The emotional fallout could be catastrophic. Nick and Victoria would be forced to reevaluate their loyalties, while Victor would be in damage control mode trying to contain the scandal. Elsewhere, Chance Chancellor may find himself drawn into the mystery. As the detective pieces together clues from separate storylines, Holden Novak's shadowy past, Mitch Bacall's cryptic movements, and now Sharon's shocking revelation, he begins to suspect that they're all connected. A file hidden in Newman Enterprises archives might hold the key, and Chance may be the one to unlock it. Sharon's shock may not only alter her life but also threaten the fragile peace in Genoa City. For years, she's tried to move beyond being the town's emotional center of chaos. She built a business, healed her relationships, and even found a sense of independence that once seemed impossible. But fate, it seems, isn't done with her. And this time, her reaction won't just be emotional, it'll be strategic. Sharon has evolved from victim to survivor to warrior, and whatever secret she's about to uncover, she's not backing down. If this revelation involves deception from Victor or manipulation from someone she trusted, Sharon could be ready to go on the offensive. That might mean a dramatic confrontation, one that has Victor Newman himself facing Sharon's fury. Viewers can expect explosive scenes where Sharon demands answers, perhaps in front of the entire family. The fallout could pit her against not only Victor but also Nikki and Victoria, especially if this revelation calls the Newman legacy into question. For longtime fans, this could be one of Sharon's most powerful storylines yet, redefining her place in Genoa City not just as a survivor, but as a truth-seeker who finally takes control of her destiny. As the week continues, look for Sharon to team up with an unlikely ally, possibly Adam. Their shared history and understanding of pain might draw them back into each other's orbit. Adam has been searching for redemption, and Sharon's vulnerability could bring out his protective side once again. However, this dynamic could spark jealousy from Nick, reigniting the long-standing love triangle that once tore the Newman family apart. The emotional complexity is what makes this storyline pure Y&R gold. Sharon's shock isn't just about a secret being revealed, it's about what it represents, a lifetime of manipulation, heartbreak, and resilience. She's the emotional heartbeat of Genoa City, and her story is about to remind everyone why she remains one of the show's most compelling characters. As Monday's episode unfolds, fans can expect a mix of nostalgia, heartbreak, and suspense. Sharon's past collides with her present in ways that no one could have predicted. And by the end of the episode, one thing will be clear: Genoa City will never be the same again. Whatever Sharon discovers will set off a chain reaction that reverberates through every family, every romance, and every alliance. It's not just her shock, it's Genoa City's reckoning. One truth could undo decades of lies. One woman could shatter the facade that's held this town together. And when the dust settles, Sharon Newman might just emerge stronger, fiercer, and more determined than ever. Monday, November 3rd, will mark the dawn of a new era for one of Y&R's most beloved characters. Fans better brace themselves, because Sharon's shock is about to shake the Young and the Restless to its core. The Young and the Restless spoilers: Nick Newman's determination. A man on a mission in Genoa City. Nick Newman has always been one of the most grounded men in Genoa City, but lately, there's a fiery determination in his eyes that no one can ignore. In the unpredictable world of the Young and the Restless, Nick's latest moves aren't just about business or family, they're about protecting what matters most to him and reclaiming control of his life after months of turmoil. As the week unfolds, Nick's resolve will be tested like never before, setting up emotional showdowns, shocking alliances, and maybe even the rebirth of an old romance. The question burning through the air is simple: what, or who, is Nick fighting for this time? At the heart of Nick's renewed determination is his family. With Victor Newman back to his manipulative best, Nick feels the need to step up before his father's machinations destroy everything. He's seen this pattern before: the mind games, the power grabs, the constant tests of loyalty, and he's done being a pawn. This time, Nick's standing his ground, even if it means standing against his own father. The moment Victor began pulling Adam and Victoria into yet another corporate tug-of-war, Nick saw the writing on the wall. Newman Enterprises isn't just a company, it's a battlefield, and Victor is the general who never stops waging war. But Nick is ready to change the rules. He's had enough of the endless cycle of manipulation and mistrust, and sources close to the Newman family suggest he's preparing to make a move that could shake the foundation of Newman Enterprises forever. But Nick's determination isn't just professional, it's deeply personal. Sharon Newman has re-entered his emotional orbit, and their connection has been reignited in recent weeks. Sharon's been dealing with her own emotional roller coaster, from uncovering the truth about Cameron Kirsten's legacy to dealing with new business and family challenges. Nick has been there for her through it all, offering strength, warmth, and a familiar comfort that seems to pull them closer with every passing day. Could this be the beginning of a true Nick and Sharon reunion? Fans have been hoping for years that these two would find their way back to one another for good. Sharon brings out Nick's heart, while Nick grounds Sharon's spirit. But with Claire Grace now part of Sharon's world, and the complicated connections between Claire, Victoria, and the Newmans, things are far from simple. Nick's determination could easily turn into conflict when he realizes Sharon's loyalty to Claire may put her at odds with his own family goals. That moral crossroad could either unite Nick and Sharon like never before or push them apart for good. Meanwhile, Sally Spectra remains an unresolved chapter in Nick's life. Their relationship ended in heartbreak, but not bitterness. Sally still carries emotional scars from losing her baby with Adam, and Nick was there during her darkest days. That compassion has always been Nick's greatest strength, and his greatest weakness. In recent scenes, Sally and Nick have shared quiet moments of reflection, suggesting that the embers of their bond are far from extinguished. But can Nick truly move forward with Sharon while still holding on to unresolved feelings for Sally? Or will Sally's potential reconnection with Adam spark a protective fury in Nick that reignites his rivalry with his brother? Nick's determination might come with consequences, especially if he lets emotion cloud his judgment. Professionally, Nick is ready to take bold steps. He's been rumored to be exploring a project outside of Newman Enterprises, a venture that could redefine his identity apart from Victor's shadow. For decades, Nick has bounced between Newman, family responsibilities, and personal ventures like New Hope. Now, it seems he's combining all of that experience into something new. Could Nick be gearing up to start his own company, a true rival to Newman Enterprises built on integrity rather than manipulation? If so, it would mark a major turning point in the Young and the Restless history, one that could pull Victoria and Adam into yet another explosive sibling war. Speaking of Victoria, her complicated relationship with Nick could become even more strained as both siblings find themselves on opposite sides of their father's empire once again. Victoria's cold ambition and loyalty to Victor often clash with Nick's desire for independence and morality. With Claire now in the mix, and questions swirling about Mitch Bacall's real identity, the Newman family web is tighter than ever. Nick's challenge will be balancing his desire to protect Sharon and Claire with his instincts to confront Victor's manipulations. This will put him at odds with Victoria, who remains obsessed with control, and potentially in denial about her own emotional unraveling. As if that weren't enough, Nick's protective instincts might also lead him to cross paths with Adam in dangerous ways. Adam has been walking a fine line between redemption and relapse, and Victor's recent attempts to pull him back into the family fold could spark new rivalries. Nick has always wanted to believe that Adam could change, but deep down, he knows that his brother's loyalty shifts with the wind. When Sally becomes part of that equation again, the emotional stakes skyrocket. Nick's determination to keep Sally safe from heartbreak, and away from Adam, could lead to explosive confrontations that shake both brothers to the core. There's also talk around Genoa City that Nick may soon uncover a shocking Newman secret. Rumors suggest that Victor's recent business deals and manipulations could involve something far darker than anyone expected. Some insiders hint that Mitch Bacall's mysterious arrival could be tied to Victor's own hidden agenda, and Nick's instinct to uncover the truth could make him a target. Nick's journalistic side, inherited from his days supporting Sharon's work and New Hope's mission, could lead him to dig where others are afraid to look. And when he does, he may uncover a betrayal so massive that it threatens to tear his family apart. Emotionally, Nick's journey is a masterclass in evolution. He's no longer the easygoing playboy or the quiet corporate son. He's become a man of conviction, willing to risk everything for what's right, even if it means losing everything he's fought to protect. The beauty of Nick's character lies in his humanity. He's flawed, emotional, sometimes impulsive, but always driven by love and loyalty. That's what makes his current story arc so compelling. Every decision he makes ripples through Genoa City, impacting Sharon, Sally, Adam, Victoria, and even his father. Each move feels like the calm before a storm, a build-up to a defining Newman family showdown that could change everything. Fans online have noticed subtle shifts in Nick's tone, his conversations, and even his confidence. Joshua Morrow, who's portrayed Nick since 1994, has been delivering nuanced performances that suggest his character is gearing up for something big. Viewers sense that Nick's storyline is on the cusp of a powerful transformation, one that might finally give him the independence and peace he's craved for years. But peace doesn't come easily in Genoa City. If Victor sees Nick's determination as defiance, he'll respond in kind, with manipulation, guilt, and power plays that could cost Nick dearly. And if Adam or Victoria get caught in the crossfire, the fallout could be catastrophic. Still, Nick isn't backing down. Not this time. Whether he's fighting for Sharon, defending Sally, or confronting Victor, Nick is entering a new era, one defined not by his father's empire but by his own choices. The next few weeks promise emotional confrontations, family warfare, and revelations that could leave fans breathless. Will Nick finally emerge as his own man, or will Victor's influence once again drag him into the cycle he spent a lifetime escaping? One thing's for sure, Nick Newman's determination isn't just a plotline. It's a statement. A promise that this time, he won't be silenced, controlled, or defeated. And as the battle lines are drawn in Genoa City, Nick may just prove that the heart of the Newman family doesn't lie in power or wealth, but in integrity, courage, and love.